Zygmunt.
It was a casting?
Martina, salí de ahí que te estamos viendo, Pandi. ¡Ataque, Pandi!
Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share a heartwarming story with you titled, A Tiny Room, A Kingdom of Cat Beds. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Of course, if it's not your style, feel free to skip it, no hard feelings. Now, let's begin the story. I live in a rented room that most people would call cozy. In reality, cozy is just a polite word for small. My wardrobe and bed already take up half the space, and the other half is a constant battlefield between books, shoes, and random things I swear I don't remember buying. Most people who visit shake their heads and say, "How can you live here with cats?" But that's the secret. My cats don't just live here. They rule this place like kings and queens, while I am merely their loyal servant. The funny thing is, even in this tiny space, I've somehow managed to create multiple sleeping spots for them. It's like a hotel where every room has a different theme. There's the cardboard box suite near the window, the fluffy blanket nest on the chair, the soft pillow kingdom on the bed, and of course, the mysterious underbed cave where only brave souls dare to nap. My cats rotate between these spots with the seriousness of travelers checking into luxury resorts. Sometimes they even look at me as if to complain. "Excuse me, maid, this blanket is wrinkled. Please fix it immediately." The funniest moments happen when the cats decide to nap at the same time. Suddenly, my tiny room becomes a scene from the Sleeping Olympics. One cat sprawls across my pillow as if he paid rent for it. Another curls up like a cinnamon roll in the laundry basket, and a third squeezes into a shoebox that is clearly 2 sizes too small. Watching them, I sometimes wonder if cats take secret lessons in physics because they can bend, fold, and stretch in ways that completely ignore the laws of space. My favorite scene was the time one of them tried to jump into the chair bed while another cat was already there. They both ended up in a fluffy wrestling match, rolling around like 2 dumplings fighting for space in a bowl. In the end, instead of picking separate spots, they squeezed together, tails hanging off the edge, both looking smugly victorious. Meanwhile, I had no chair left to sit on. It's fine though. I've learned to live on the corner of my bed or simply stand in my own room, because apparently, humans are optional in the cat's grand sleeping plan. Of course, it's not just about where they sleep, but also how they sleep. Each cat has its signature pose. One lies flat like a pancake, another stretches out dramatically as if auditioning for a yoga class, and one prefers to bury his face into the blanket as though he has given up on life. Together, they create a living art gallery of ridiculous cuteness. I often find myself giggling quietly while snapping photos, and my phone gallery is now 90% cat naps, 10% everything else. Some people would think living in a small rented room with multiple cats is stressful, but I see it as a gift. My cats remind me every day that comfort isn't about how big your space is, but how much love you put into it. A cardboard box can feel like a palace if there's warmth inside. My cats don't care about square meters or furniture brands. They care about safety, softness, and the simple joy of curling up next to someone they trust. There are times when I come home tired, and I see them sprawled across their little beds, breathing softly, their paws twitching in dreams. At that moment, my room feels bigger than any mansion, filled with peace and laughter. Sure, I may not have a fancy apartment or a spacious living room, but I do have a home where love and fur are everywhere. And honestly, isn't that more valuable than empty space? In the end, my cats taught me a precious life lesson. Happiness doesn't depend on size. It depends on care. Whether it's a person or a pet, what matters is creating little corners of comfort where hearts feel safe. Life may not always give us the biggest rooms, but we can always decorate the space we have with kindness, softness, and a little bit of humor. After all, if a shoebox can be a luxury bed for a cat, then maybe a tiny rented room can still be a castle filled with love. In many ways, the story of a small room filled with cozy spots for cats reflects how modern life often feels, limited in space, time, and energy, yet still full of opportunities for comfort if we choose to create it. In today's fast-paced world, we often chase after bigger houses, better jobs, or more possessions, believing that happiness lies in more. But the truth is, just like the cats who find joy in a cardboard box or a wrinkled blanket, real comfort comes from appreciating what we already have and making the most of it. The lesson here is not about settling, but about cultivating gratitude and creativity within our circumstances. Even if life feels small at times, whether it's a cramped apartment, a busy schedule, or a modest income, we can still build little corners of peace and happiness. That might mean carving out 5 minutes for a mindful break, creating a cozy reading nook, or nurturing relationships that make our hearts feel safe. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, we can embrace the present and design a life that feels meaningful, no matter the size. After all, happiness is less about square footage and more about heart space.